So I wanted to go ahead and do a quick intro here for those of you who are not in my Discord. First of all, shame on you, you should be in there, it's a lot of fun. But I wanted to let you guys know I did one YOLO multi-summon over the weekend, and I also was combining memories over the weekend. And this is how the multi went, but also I wanted to let you know that I ended up getting a Kyo memory through my combinations as well. So yeah, if you know this if you were in my Discord, so get in there, it's a lot of fun. Anyway, let's get to the video. What's going on, you guys? Theo here with the big review, back yet again with another King of Fighters Allstar video, and in today's installment on the channel we are going to be doing another subscriber Q&A where we pick out a handful of comments and questions from the comment section, Reddit, Discord, and the like, and we give them a spotlight here on the channel. But before we get into all of that, if you guys have not already done so and you're new here to the channel and enjoy daily King of Fighters content uploads, then make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, because that's exactly what we do here on the channel. And let's go ahead and get into the Q&A, shall we? And our first question comes to us from Alucard Jr. 69, who asks, can you do a run with Iori? Now, this is in reference to the bonus video that I threw up yesterday. For those of you who did not see that video, we actually posted two videos here on the channel yesterday. We posted the PvP Championship Power Rankings podcast with Saint, as well as a no commentary highlight video for Kyo in Guild Raid, and that's what this is in reference to. And first of all, thank you Alucard Jr. 69 for the question, and thank you for supporting the channel. You've been here forever, so definitely appreciate you, man. As far as doing a run with Iori, I will be doing a video on Iori, trying to highlight him as best as humanly possible. With the amount that I have at the moment, I really only have my Iori at Awakening level 1, and that's probably not going to change, unfortunately, as much as I would like to have more memories. Netmarble has, yeah, they've zapped me of all of my resources, so I will not probably be able to do a proper showcase for him. So a spotlight video on him is probably out of the question for the most part, although I am trying to brainstorm a way in order to do a mini showcase for him so that I can at least give you guys some sort of idea. He's a very, very good character, so that, you know, should go without saying, but very tough for me to be able to do that when I'm at this point in the game with an Awakening level 1 character, considering the fact I'm pretty much at end game content or veteran content, or however you want to spin it at this point in the game. So Awakening level 1 can only go so far, but I'm definitely working on it. It's going to be coming after I do all of my coverage of Kyo at this point, because my Kyo obviously is going to be priority 1, considering I can use him in all this content, but we will get to that point. So thank you for your question, Alucard Jr. 69. I appreciate it. Let's move on to the next one here. And this one comes to us from Armand Billups, who asks, what's up? Will you do a Lin review? Thank you for the question, Armand. And when it comes to Lin at this point, I am going to try and do something for him, but I mean, I really don't know what that would be at this point. I mean, to be honest with you, Lin isn't that great. He's going to be a pretty good free-to-play character if you're new to the game and you don't have a lot of really good options, but anybody beyond that point that does have at least a good, healthy amount of, you know, Fest characters, whether they be a Unified Banner, SS, BS, or otherwise, he's really kind of mid-tier when it comes to any of that stuff, so there's not anything super special there, and I really don't have any memories for him because I did not want to put out money for that character. So yeah, unfortunately it's kind of the same thing as Iori, but worse. With Iori, at least there's certain things I can do. With Lin, it's very limited because he's only level 90, but I might try to do something of a mini spotlight for him as well, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to do that, but really, you can trust me when I say that Lin isn't all that great. There's really not a whole lot there. I've played around with him in things like League and Infinite Battle and things of that nature, and he's alright. He's alright, but yeah, I mean, he's a free-to-play character that went from being a gold border character to being basically a gold border character in the disguise of being a fest character. So there's really not a whole lot there to talk about, but yeah, I will definitely try to at least come up with something. But thank you for your question, Armand. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one here. And this from, I want to say that is pronounced Kofi Rocks. Could be Coffee Rocks. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's Kofi. Might be just thinking about wrestling. But anyway, is there a PvE tier list podcast as well? Would love to see PvE as well, since PvE content takes up like 90% of KOF Really appreciate these informative podcasts. Keep it up. This is in reference to the podcast I did with Saint yesterday that I mentioned earlier, and thank you for your question, Kofi Rocks. When it comes to this one, though, there is not necessarily a PvE tier list, at least on this channel, much less a podcast. It's something that I am still kicking around. I'm at a point with PvE where I don't even know how much it matters if we rank this stuff too much or not. You know, I am going to be doing videos on this topic again here on the channel, since the previous series that I did, breaking all these things down by color, is pretty much outdated at this point, being that it's several months old. So I am going to get back into that and do that whenever Netmarble decides to stop releasing limited banners that take up all of my content time. But yeah, there is not currently one, but I will be working on a new kind of ranking list. I'm not sure if it will follow the same protocols as the original series. We'll have to wait and see. I'm still kind of trying to decide what I want to do with that. But yeah, there will be a new version, a updated version of those here soon, so stay tuned for that. But thank you for the question, Kofi. Next up, we have a comment from Tony the Tiger, who says, Kyo is just about that background music, yo. It's so good. Yes, it is, Tony. It's probably one of my favorite background musics in the game right now, and I'm not gonna lie, it was worth the price of admission to go for this character. He's definitely going to be living on my home screen as a result of this music, so thank you for the comment, Tony. I appreciate it. Yet another member that has been with us for a very long time. Always appreciate the support. Next up, I have a comment from Hysterical Dark here, who is also a longtime supporter of the channel, so shout out to Hysterical. But Hysterical says, I'd become at least a chubby goldfish with your proposed mileage. And I had to highlight this one because this was hilarious to me. This was in reference to my Saturday Chat and Chill, which if you guys have not seen it, check it out. Link will be in the description. But I was talking about the mileage and a proposed idea for the limited banner mileages, and yeah, that's what that's in reference to. And I do want to take a moment to thank you guys for all of your love and support with that video. I noticed that a ton of people were posting that video around the internet, so thank you guys so much for the support on that video. I'm very glad that you all enjoyed it. Now here's hoping that Netmarble might actually see it, and who knows. You know, I'm not saying that they might do it exactly, but hey, yeah, maybe they'll do something, right? But something's better than nothing at this point, which is pretty much all we got. But anyway, moving on to the next one here. We have a comment from Rajat Rana, who says, I'm going for the card. The card looks awesome, only if the card is usable on all Iori and Kyo, mainly Fest, Kyo, and Iori. The reason why I highlighted this comment, and this is in reference obviously to the new SS finisher cards, the new 3PG cards for Kyo and Iori. I wanted to highlight this because I did want to take a moment to talk about the fact that it is very disappointing that Netmarble continues to release these new 3PGs and not allow them to be used on previous versions of these fests. Now with this one, it's a bit of a special case. I completely understand that it's kind of a sacred moment, no pun intended, for the KOF franchise as a whole, so they probably wanted to keep it sequestered to the proper characters, or at least the proper versions of the characters, as it were. But I do think that going forward, whenever they release these new 3PGs, it would behoove them to try and make them as accessible for these other characters as possible. Not only does it incentivize people to go for these cards because they can use them out of the box on characters they might already have, but it also kind of shadow buffs certain characters in a small way, so if they end up getting a 3PG finisher, especially if it's a really good one, kind of like these were, then that really would help the viability of some of these characters down the road. So that's something I wanted to kind of throw in here because I hadn't talked about that very much on the channel yet since these updates, and it is something that I definitely would like to see in the future. But definitely thank you for the comment, Rajat. I appreciate it. Moving on to the next one here, we have a comment from Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, who says, I'll need to test out if semi-auto will boost my score. Nice vid. I'm sure the non-English speakers will love it. I wonder what the player country stat looks like. So I appreciate the comment, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. There's a couple things I wanted to cover here. So when it comes to the semi-auto thing, he's talking about in reference to the video I put up about Kyo yesterday, testing him out in Guild Raid. When it comes to manual versus semi-auto, it's typically up to the person. My preference has always been semi-auto, but to be honest, you can do just as well, if not better, with manual. It just depends on the person. Now, when it comes to the rest of this, there's a couple things here I wanted to address. So I am doing more of those videos where I'm going to do non-commentary as bonus videos, so they aren't going to be replacing daily uploads, but they'll be kind of just in addition to here and there. And this is for my non-native English-speaking viewers, so I do have quite a few of those. And he had said he wondered about what my country stat list looks like, but I can actually talk about that just a tad. I have a lot of players that are Spanish, Indonesian, and Portuguese that watch this channel. So it's one of those things where that's kind of the idea behind posting those non-commentary videos. And considering the fact that that one was really well received and the past several I've done have been really well received, I'll probably continue to do those. But definitely appreciate you posting that comment there, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Yet another person who has been in my comment section for a very long time, and I appreciate you. Moving on to the next one here, and this is also going to be from that Kyo showcase video from yesterday, and this one comes to us from Sauronbi. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that as per usual, but I tried solo Kyo and Lunatic, but always end up Kyo die in few explosion hit. Basically, this is in reference to Guild Raid Lunatic with Kyo trying to solo with the new SS Kyo, that is. So basically, with the nuke damage, it is very tough to keep him alive. If you guys saw that video, you will have noticed that I used an Athena striker in order to heal him and keep him alive as long as humanly possible. So that is going to be pretty necessary. Any healing striker should do. However, I prefer that Athena just because of the amount that she heals, but pretty much any of the healing strikers you have available to you will probably get you by. The biggest thing that you're going to need to do regardless, though, is you're still going to need to try and exploit whatever it is, whether it's a bug or what I don't even know what it is at this point, but it's been in the game for a while, where a well-timed press of the button for your finisher will get you out of the damage for the nuke from the boss Rugal, because really when it comes to that nuke, that's where all that damage is going to come from. You should be able to dodge and time things well enough and know his patterns well enough to stay away from most of his regular combos. It's the nuke damage that you really have to watch out for. So for those of you who are unaware, basically right before he uses his nuke, you can time it, and it's a very split-second timing. You really have to get good with it and really practice it. But basically, if you use either your finisher, which it won't use it typically, what it'll do is you'll just hit the button and it'll do nothing, but then you won't take the damage. You will always take the stun, but you won't take the damage. And then also you can do this with your roll as well. A well-timed roll right as he's about to do the nuke or right as he goes for the nuke will also do the same thing, where you'll stun, but you won't take damage. So you have to time those things. A couple of those sporadically throughout the fight will keep your Kyo alive. It also will work really well when your Athena is on cooldown, so that way you can get her into the fight easier and make sure that you keep your Kyo alive for as long as possible. Again, these are things that can be very difficult. I've thought about maybe doing a guide on this exploit, but I haven't gotten around to it. If that's something you guys are interested in, you can let me know. You just saw it right there actually in the footage that I have up on screen, so that's good timing. But yeah, guys, you'll want to make sure that you can do that at least somewhat reliably and practice it in order to do it like this. But I mean, really, the only reason I do these solos, to be honest with you guys, is to damage test characters and to check them, you know, in the most extreme situations. So this is not something that outside of Chrysalid you really need to be doing. Although with Kyo, he does hold up extremely well as a solo artist when it comes to these sorts of modes. So really with Kyo, I have nothing negative to say. You guys will be seeing a spotlight video for him probably tomorrow or the next day. It's going to be one of the next two videos at this point. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much what I've got for the comments and the questions today. I appreciate all of my viewers and subscribers who posted these. Make sure that you post your comments if you have any questions or just have something funny to say. Who knows? I'm always a sucker for a good joke, but make sure that you drop your comments in the comment section down below, and chances are I will get around to them, whether I just reply to them in the comment section or I highlight them in one of these Q&As that we do weekly. You never know, so make sure you post those. But there are a couple of details that I do want to go ahead and throw in here at the end of today's video, just as kind of asides here on the channel. So for those of you who are wondering, this is going to be SS coverage week, kind of like we did with the Boss Syndrome content. So we are going to be going in and doing showcases, spotlights, so on and so forth as best we can for all this new content. It's going to be a little bit tough, like I said, with things like Iori, but hey, I will do my best, so we'll see what happens. But I will be bringing that to you guys this week, starting out with the Kyo Spotlight, which you guys should be seeing here in the next 48 hours, as I am working on final edits for that as best I can right now in the background. And then one other detail that I did want to throw in here as well is I want to thank my latest member of my channel who will be helping with some of my content, and that is going to be Madude. That is his actual name. For those of you who do not know who this is, he is going to be designing my thumbnails going forward here on the channel. He does amazing work as a digital artist. If you guys want to check him out, I have him linked in my description. Go check out his Twitter. He has some pretty cool artwork out there. So thank you, my dude, for being a part of the team. But anyway, guys, that's going to be today's video. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Continue. Game over.